Hi there. I'd like to welcome you to my channel. It's called It's My Bear Den. This is going to be a place where I hope that you'll like to come to enjoy and relax and learn to take care of yourself. And especially if you're somebody who is not used to taking care of themselves, I hope you'll find a way to do that. I want to do a little introduction for you and tell you a little bit about myself. And I've written that out, so I'm just going to read that to you, and then I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So my name is Lynn Braden, and I'd like to introduce you to myself and say hi today. This is my first YouTube video ever. I did my first ever live video in July. And I'm not much of a picture taker of myself either. In an amazing program by Tim Hahn called Success Insider is when I did my first live video, and it's changed my life. You should really check it out if you haven't. You can also look it up as just LMA. I have worked directly in an instructor-educator role most of my career. If it be a client or a student, education has been equally important, along with caring for people. It's a part of me, not just what I do. Unfortunately, like many, I suffered a debilitating injury at the height of business in my life. I had only recently opened my aesthetics school. I was working 12 to 16-hour days, and a simple massage threw my life upside down. The next year was full of MS-like symptoms, crutches, then February 15th, wheelchair. No heels ever again. But I keep working, trying to keep it all going. But there's a problem, you see. It's the other part of my story. I live with invisible illnesses. Like many, I came with them, and they're mostly only visible to me. But they hamper everything I try to be. Today, a movie made me think of me. The pain of others knowing, the shame, embarrassment, and fear, but also the loneliness and the isolation that I had created right here. The amazing thing is, now I have a new way of thinking without all that fear. Instead, I want to help you out there. Especially if you're living with fear. I want to teach you how to get right here. Along the way, to elevate some suffering, I have 2 poems I'd like to share. They were written a year apart, this April and last. I hope you'll see what can happen with time and some well-deserved self-care. Now, if you're checking in because of invisible illnesses, I was born with a very rare birth defect known as bichoanal atresia. It simply means I was born without nasal passages. And the form that I had was a full bone across both nostrils, and it regrows. I had my first surgery at 8 hours old. I had approximately 26 of them between then and 6 months. My understanding was that there was approximately 6 other children before me. All had passed. And so this was quite experimental. I grew up, I had lots of infections all the time and was sick quite a bit. So I was basically, if I could get out of bed, I was to go to school. I was to go to work. I was to do my stuff. And that's how I learned, and that's what I did. And that's what I've continued to do. And to a point where when this injury happened and the advice came to stop working, I just couldn't. I just didn't know how to stop. And my body was giving me every sign it could that it couldn't do anymore. And finally, my adrenals literally burnt out. And at the hopes of going to a naturopath and that he'd give me some tinctures and I could go on my way, he told me I literally had no chi left in my body and told me to promptly go back to the school and tell them I'd be gone for 3 months. That was in 2010. I went home, I laid down, and I slept 20 plus hours a day for over 7 years, 7 days a week. I have very little memory of that time, and since then I've been trying to recover. Now, we've discovered that all those infections had a reason. I'm also IgG deficient, which I was born with. And I'm subcategory C3, which means I'm particularly susceptible to respiratory infections. And that's why there was the crossing over. And also because of all these surgeries and car accidents that I've had, I also suffer with a lot of damage to my vagus nerve that affects my body's ability to shut down fight or flight, to be able to relax, to be able to digest, to be able to do a lot of things. And so now I'm working with amazing people. I'm paying attention to my body, and I'm paying attention to myself, most importantly. But it's taken a long time and a lot of stuff to happen. I also have suffered with and dealt with abuse, suicide, and numerous other things that I have now tools in my tool belt to help people to be able to deal with that. I also want to just teach you how to be able to do just some basic self-care to take care of yourself that I can carry through from my aesthetics career, and just how to make yourself feel good. And I want to be able to bring my new love of writing to hopefully inspire and encourage you that life can change and be different. And with that, I want to read you the poems that I wrote, and hopefully that inspires you to see that things can actually change. So, I will start out first with the one I wrote a year ago. It's titled, Wouldn't It Be Nice If? Wouldn't it be nice if? Wouldn't it be nice if I woke up every day with a smile on my face and a happy thought that filled my head and heart? Wouldn't it be nice if I felt the freedom to go freely about my day, to express how I feel and know I'm okay? But I do feel this fear every day. Windows cracked open. No dogs here. Too much, just too much. Too many noises coming. Can't analyze it all. No one home to protect me. I need to lock down, but wouldn't it be nice if I didn't have to? Close the windows. Check the locks. Locked? Okay, safer. but he could be right there. Right there. Wouldn't it be nice if it wasn't this way? Wouldn't it be nice if things were different? And that was a year ago. And I want to read you what I wrote this April. Today is different. It's been a year, less 9 days, since I last wrote about fear every day, rising in my throat, anxious of every thought, not sure anymore who or what to believe. The outdoors, once loved, now a scary place, including all the people in it. Who can I trust? Who will deceive? But today is different. I know I definitely don't feel the same way. I wake up every day to puppy kisses. If my husband is home, he does okay. I may not have a smile on my face, but I share a smile picture every day. I'm learning to express myself freely and understand it will be okay. My heart, my mind feel safer, like something I can trust today. The puppies went out with my honey. Not well. At home I was left. And today I settled in comfortably under my blanket. So sorry. Watching cooking, baking, adults and children who melted your heart. Later, realizing that not once had I checked a lock, a window, or had him enter my thoughts. So now that I'm truly understanding, I am forever thankful for all of you and all you do, because it makes a difference, just like I wished it for it to. Thank you very much for listening and checking my channel. And you will also notice up in the corner that you will see a logo represented by an armor in the shape of a stop sign with a red banner around it. And in the middle are two bandages crossed over a small crack in that armor. And the title says, "My armor is broken." This is to signify for other people who have what they feel is a damaged armor, whether this is an invisible disease, whether this is somebody going through chemo, this is somebody who has diabetes, this is somebody who is going through a mentally challenging time, whether this is somebody who needs space. And especially at this time of what's going on in our lives, and there's a lot of controversy. People who already have to deal with being sick all the time shouldn't have to explain why they need to wear their mask, or why they need to stand away from other people, or why they have to be separated and take extra care. And it is my hope that this logo will be able to be used in many different aspects, on masks, on vests, on door stickers and windows, for people to simply be able to display, so that when seen, people will know to just give you your space and not have to ask you to explain or justify it in any way. So I hope you are encouraged by what you've heard, and I hope I will see you again. And until then, have a wonderful day. Take care and be safe always. Bye.